Okay, I'm sure you're wondering why I've gathered you all here today. You all are about to join me in the super official tier list of breakfast foods. Super legit, super official. What I say goes. If you don't agree with me, you're gonna be put on double secret probation. So you better watch out. All right, I see the first thing is a bunch of breakfast cereal, which is weird because, you know, I think different cereals are different ranks, you know? Cinnamon Toast Crunch way better than Raisin Bran, or vice versa the older you get. But you know, I think we're gonna start that off with the B tier. It's just like, it's pretty good. I could have cereal basically any time of the day and be happy. Having said that, I don't have cereal very often. When I do, it's a special occasion like a wedding or a Sunday. One thing I should mention before I rank the next item is that I'm considering all factors like practicality, how it makes me feel, health stuff too, you know? I guess you could tie that in with how it makes me feel. So I think this next one is quiche. Now quiche is very good. Having said that, I don't make quiche ever. I don't know how to make quiche, but whenever I do have it, it's pretty good. Now I don't go out of my way to have quiche. Even though I like it though, I have a hard time choosing it over something else. So I think we're gonna put it in the B tier as well. Next up is hash browns, I believe. Now, if you ever go to your local breakfast spot and you get these on the side of like pancakes or something, these can outshine the main star of the dish. These are very, very good. You don't be sleeping on these. You put some seasoning on them, maybe even put some ketchup, dip some ketchup in them. Dip them in some ketchup, I mean. You can't dip ketchup, like it's already a dip. So vice versa, you dip those into ketchup and they are fire. They are fire. Next on the list is an English muffin. And dude, it's D tier. English muffin D tier. It is the worst of the bread group. It is the worst of the breakfast bread group, in my opinion, of course. But it should be in everyone's opinion. Like just plain English muffin, there's nothing good about it. There's nothing good about it. And the more I look at these foods that we still have to rank, there's a lot of foods down here that do not belong in breakfast tier. They just don't belong. They just don't belong in any tier, if I'm being honest. And we'll get to that. We will get to that. I don't even know what this next thing is. Is it just like a plain bread item? Oh, wait, I think that's, I actually think that's a Danish. We're gonna assume that's a Danish because if that's a plain bread thing, I have no idea where it goes. It's probably gonna go in D tier, but we're gonna call it a Danish and therefore it goes to C tier. Like Danish is just a fancy way to eat cake or something like that. You know, it's too sweet. I don't feel good afterwards. I don't feel good at all after eating something like that. Which brings us to our next thing. It's a muffin. A muffin is just like a form of cake, but I will rank it ahead of Danish. I do like muffins a lot better than Danish, but it's more of a dessert to me. Blueberry, I'm gonna assume that's blueberry. Blueberry is just fine. It's fine. Personally, I'd rather have a chocolate chip muffin, partly because I view it as a dessert, you know? Avocado toast. This is where I might make some enemies if I haven't already. Avocado toast doesn't belong in breakfast. It just doesn't. It's just a plain piece of toast with a couple of avocados, you know, grinded down, made some guacamole out of it, put it on a plain piece of toast, and you get 2 pieces for like $17. Unless you make it on your own, but if you're making it on your own, make something better. It's going in D tier. It's going ahead of English muffin though. Actually, I changed my mind. The good thing about avocado toast is that it doesn't make me feel bad physically. Mentally, that's a different story. But it's definitely going above muffin and Danish / plain bread thing. Cinnamon roll, same thing as muffins, except they're a lot more delicious. But I don't feel good afterwards, and I think it's more of a dessert. So it is gonna go in B tier actually, despite it making me feel like I'm 100 pounds heavier 20 minutes after eating it and a lot sleepier. Assorted fruit is next. I'm not a big fan of just like fruit for breakfast. I want a little bit of protein. However, this does make me feel pretty good if I have that in the morning. It's more of like, you know, the side to a more substantial dish, if that makes sense. And do I see an apricot there? Do y'all have apricots for breakfast? Do you? Because I don't. I have an apricot maybe like 3 times in a decade, maybe. I've been alive for 3 decades and some change. So that equates to about 9 apricots. Is my math mathin'? Anyway, I'm going to rate it in B tier, right in between quiche and cereal. The practicality of fruit is what knocks it down from being an A tier right here as well, and knocks it down below cereal because you have to prepare it. Once you buy it, it goes bad in like 6 hours. So you got to eat it basically right away or else you're never going to enjoy it. Yogurt parfait. Before I put this in a tier, if you like the content and you like my personality and you agree with most of the things I say, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want me to keep doing these tier lists, make sure to subscribe. You'll see some more interesting takes, hot takes, cold takes, all the takes. Speaking of takes though, this parfait takes me way back to the first time I ever saw Super Size Me. That's right, the McDonald's movie, Super Size Me. And he had a yogurt parfait and he pulled a hair out of it like that long. So anytime I see a parfait, I think of that scene. And that is why it's going dead last so far in D tier. Who else also thinks about that scene when they see a yogurt parfait? Please let me know in the comments. And let me just tell you before I rank this one, Canada, I'm looking at you. We're all looking at you actually. We're all disappointed because you're calling this Canadian bacon. It's just ham. It is just ham, and calling it Canadian bacon is leaving us all the evidence in the world to make fun of you for calling it Canadian bacon because, you know, wow. It's not good. It's not good. It's just ham. Okay, I will rank it ahead of English muffins though, so if I can find out how to do this, please work. And next is just ham, which I'm gonna rank in C tier because at least we're not hiding it behind the false claims of it being bacon, right? So that's why it gets ranked higher, which brings me to bacon, which in my opinion, bacon's overrated. So if I haven't made enemies yet, oh boy, I hope your torches and pitchforks are ready. Bacon's going in B tier. It is going in B tier. I'm actually gonna rank it lower than fruit, but ahead of quiche, because I think bacon by itself is decent, but it's not amazing. I like bacon on like a sandwich or in some scrambled eggs with some cheese, like on a burger. It's more of an accessory to me than a main staple, if that makes sense. All right, I hated on English muffins before, but the one thing that they can do to redeem themselves is being a part of Eggs Benedict. That is absolutely going in A tier, especially if you get it from like a local breakfast place like I was talking about. It's money. If you haven't had it, go do yourself a favor and do it. I don't even know what this next thing is. Is it just a bowl of beans? Because what are we doing as a society where we have just a bowl of beans for breakfast? Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but that looks to me like a bowl of beans. Who in their right minds does that? Because I would like to have a sit down and maybe even start a podcast with you, because I feel like we need to really dissect what the thought process is to have a bowl of beans for breakfast. Anyway, just, you know, if you know someone, reach out to me. But it's for sure going in D tier. Do I put it ahead of parfait though? Do I put it ahead of parfait? I think I do. I still have a grudge against parfaits. Now, what are these? Are these home fries or still hash browns? Either way, they're part of the potato group and they look very well seasoned. So I'm just gonna put them in A tier. Like I like both of these very, very similarly. I have a hard time choosing one over the other. And once again, here we have potato pancakes basically. But if that is sour cream, then I'm gonna have to take it down a peg. I'm not a big fan of sour cream. Doesn't make me feel very, very good, but they do taste delicious. I would choose ketchup ahead of sour cream though. So I'm actually gonna put these in B tier because of the sour cream, but I'm gonna put them ahead of cereal. Biscuits and gravy is next, you know? I'm actually gonna put this in C tier. My girlfriend would hate me if she stumbles upon this video because she loves biscuits and gravy. But you know, they're so heavy. They are delicious, but I feel like I need 6 hours of sleep after I eat them. So I'm gonna put them in C tier. I'm actually gonna put them in between, I'm actually gonna put them below Danish in front of ham. I just can't get past how they make me feel. They just make me feel terrible. Sausage links, you know, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid. I don't really go out of my way to have a sausage link, but whenever I do have them, they're pretty good. So I'm gonna put them actually in B tier. I will put them, I'm gonna put them ahead of cereal and in between cereal and these potato pancakes. Now to the sausage link counterpart, the sausage patty, which I don't know why, but I like it so much more than the sausage links. They're going in A tier, albeit the bottom of A tier. Okay, here's another one that y'all might hate me for, but some days you really just can't beat a plain piece of toast with a little bit of butter on it. You just can't. You just can't. Toasted to perfection. There's honestly not that much better than it. It's S tier, dude. It's S tier. Absolutely going to S tier. Next is oatmeal with a little bit of fruit. I think I see a little bit of powdered sugar there, which is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. It's not a bad choice. It's really not a bad choice. It tastes pretty decent. I would say like maybe right around cereal and fruit. It's basically a merger of both of those. However, it fails to do either thing very well. It's just mediocre at the fruit aspect, mediocre at the starch portion of it. So it's gonna go behind the cereal and fruit, but still in B tier. Over easy eggs, very, very delicious, but I think they belong on something else, like a sandwich or a bagel. That is what hurts these eggs, or else they'd be in A tier. I mean S tier. They'd be in S tier. So I'm gonna have to put them right above hash browns. They're so good still. They're still so good. Hard-boiled eggs, not a fan. Not a fan whatsoever. The practicality, like if I'm gonna make eggs, if I'm gonna boil water and put eggs in there, and then I have to peel the shell off to eat something that just like the texture is just, I can't get past it. I cannot get past it. They don't taste good either. They do not taste good whatsoever. If you're gonna go that kind of distance, you might as well just scramble some eggs, make them over easy even, maybe even fry them. They're going in D tier. I like the taste of Canadian bacon better, if I'm being honest, but calling it bacon just ruins it for me. These are going ahead of Canadian bacon. Next up is a stack of flapjacks. Not bad. I really do like some pancakes. Like solid, especially when you go to a breakfast place and they have different flavors of pancakes. They're just so good, so fluffy. They're absolutely going to B tier. Absolutely going to B tier. However, they will not beat out the next item. I can't even figure out how to get these at the top of B tier, so they're just gonna stay put right there. But French toast is absolutely S tier. They basically win every single fight. They're just so good, so flavorful, so fluffy. The texture is just perfect depending on where you get them. If you get them from a nice breakfast spot, it's just, oh, perfection. Oh, I can't get enough of it. It makes me want some right now. Like it's 5 o'clock right now. I might just have to make some French toast, even though if I make it, it's probably gonna be, you know, in B tier. The next is like a hash brown from McDonald's or something. You know, I still think they're pretty good. I still would like to have a hash brown from McDonald's, but I am gonna rank it below. I'm gonna rank it in between oatmeal and bacon. I think I would actually rather have that than bacon. What are they still like 99 cents if you get like a full meal at McDonald's for breakfast or something? That's a pretty solid deal. I believe these are just home fries again, so we're just gonna stick them right by the home fries up here. It's basically the same thing. I think it is at least. But the next item, the bagel, the everything bagel. It doesn't even have to be an everything bagel because a bagel is everything to me. It is absolutely going in S tier, way above a piece of toast, but slightly below the French toast. The bagel is just so versatile. You can put so much on it. Butter. You can even put peanut butter on it. Cream cheese is my personal preference. I don't live too far from a local bagel shop where they have different flavor smears. That's what they call them. They call them smears. And one is like Oreo cheesecake flavor. And let me tell you something. I don't really have an addictive personality, but that smear almost made me have an addictive personality. Oh, it's just so good. It was just so good. Highly recommended. If there's a bagel shop in your town or city, please go check it out. They probably have some awesome flavors of something you don't even know about. Next up is a croissant, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it being in a breakfast tier list. You know, I think it's very good. It's flaky, it's buttery, but it's not like a breakfast food in my opinion, but I do like it. I like its flavor. I'm gonna put it in C tier. A donut? No, it's not a breakfast food to me. I know a lot of people have it for breakfast, but if I have, it's just not a breakfast food to me. I can't have it at breakfast or else I'm gonna be unproductive the rest of the day, especially if it's like a big donut or a thick donut or from like a specialty donut place. People from work bring donuts all the time. They're always like, take a break, donuts in the break room. Like, no, because I have work to do. And if I eat a donut or a donut and a half, I'm gonna be worthless the rest of the day. It is going in C tier. It is actually going at the bottom of C tier. Horrible breakfast food. Biscuits. Biscuits are solid. There's this one place back home that has biscuit sandwiches for breakfast. They are so good. However, that's because it was a biscuit sandwich. A biscuit by itself is very delicious. Don't get me wrong. It's fluffy. It's buttery. However, it's very heavy. It's more like a weekend breakfast thing. I can't have this on a weekday. I'm getting older and I hate that my nutrition is getting more dictated by the time of the day. I hate it, but it is what it is. And you out there who are over 30, you know what I'm talking about. Biscuits will be going in B tier, right in between cinnamon roll and quiche. Now steak and eggs is next. I'm gonna assume that steak can be cooked however you want. The eggs can be cooked however you want as well. This is absolutely going in S tier. Love steak and eggs. Love that combination. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love it. I started making steak and eggs like 2 weeks ago. I was just in the mood and I had it like 5 straight days. It was delicious and glorious. S tier for days. S tier for sure. And the last thing, scrambled eggs. It's a staple and it has been a staple of breakfast for years for me. It seems like a lot of breakfasts are just centered around scrambled eggs. It's a staple of American breakfast, I feel like. I don't know if it's a staple anywhere else outside of America. I feel like I'm just very uncultured. So let me know in the comments if it is or it isn't. However, it's still gonna go in A tier. I don't think it has the oomph to get it into S tier because these are like specialty items. I don't have these every day. I could have scrambled eggs every day. It's easy, it's delicious, but it is lacking that X factor that gets it to S tier. However, I could still eat them every day. And that's my tier list. Let me know what you agree with, what take you hated, and what would you do differently? And tell me something that isn't up here that you enjoy for breakfast, and maybe I'll give it a try. Until the next time, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe another tier list. Peace.